Just give me 5 more minutes, Tom. Look, I'll get to it. I just need a minute, okay? I'm kind of wore out here, buddy. 600? Okay, let's do it.
I like CSGO skins, and I think a lot of you guys like CSGO skins too, but I don't really get how they work. Now, from the AI video I made last time, I'm starting to kinda get a grasp on the different styles, but I'm not quite to the point yet where I can look at a skin and be like, oh, that's obviously an anodized multicolored style. But I am trying to learn the different styles that Valve gave creators when they're making skins for the game. And while I would like to make a video in the future kind of going further into these different styles, one thing I know right now is that I really enjoy pattern-based skins. It adds a whole new aspect to unboxing in which you get a case hardened 5.7 out of a case. That's half the fun. The other half is seeing the pattern on the case hardened pistol when it pops up. It's like double the excitement almost.
Dude, he's cracked.
So today we're gonna look at some texture files from CSGO, and we're gonna look at some skins with rare patterns and try to kind of find where in the texture files those weird patterns lie. But before we get into that, I want to show you guys how you can pull these texture files from the CSGO source files as quick as I can. Okay, speed running this tutorial so we can get it out of the way and talk about some skins. You're going to need 3 things going into this. You're going to need VTF Edit, you're going to need GCF Scape, and you're going to need Photoshop or some sort of Photoshop adjacent program that can handle Targa files. Okay, we're going to start out with GCF Scape here. Going to open this folder at the top, and you'll want to go to this directory up at the top to get into your CSGO folder. And right here you'll see pack01_dir. We're gonna open that one. All right, here we go. Now we're gonna have to dig into these folders to find what we're looking for. So we're gonna go to materials, and then once we're in materials, you're gonna want to scroll down to models, and once we're in models, we'll scroll down to weapons, customization, then we see paints here, and then this is really what we're looking for. Now obviously we'll have to go into these, but we kind of get to pick and choose which ones, and this is what I was talking about earlier about, you got your custom, anodized, all that. Let's just click a custom and look at some of them. See, we already see the AK Island Floral, AK X-Ray, but this is the one we're going to be using for this video, the Anime AWG. So as you can see, I've already drug it out here onto my desktop, so just go ahead and extract this if you're like following along and want to do the Anime AWG. Okay, so we've got our animeawg.vtf file here. So all we have to do is open up VTF Edit here. Boom. And then we're going to drag in our animeawg file, and we can already see there it is. But the whole reason we're dragging it into VTF Edit is so that we can export it as a Targa file. And you can see here it automatically wants to do that. And I'm not going through with it because I already have it right here as a Targa file. Boom. And now that we have it as a Targa file, I'm going to open it with Photoshop. You can do it with your Photoshop alternative or Photoshop, obviously. And there it is. And we can just kind of do this with pretty much any skin in CSGO and kind of see how it's laid out. And obviously, if we do this with a patterned skin, it's going to produce something like this. So here we have the AWP Paw pattern, and it's pulled using the same method I just showed you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and expand it out and brighten it up a little bit. There we go. And we're going to pull in my AWP Paw that I own. And as you can see, as I move it, it perfectly aligns with the background image. And you can think of the skin codes as almost like coordinates, each one moving the op to a different location on your screen here, and it's going to produce a totally different looking op every time. And obviously there's a lot of designs where you don't even notice they're different hardly, but this leads to some really rare designs, like for the AWP Paw, where the golden cat is perfectly showcased in the center of the gun, thus making it more desirable than some of the others. And when we're talking about pattern-based skins like this, you know we gotta talk about case hardened. I mean, there are some truly crazy expensive skins and patterns in this, and I kind of want to show you how some of them line up when we expand this pattern out. The first one I want to talk about here is the Huntsman Dick Hardened pattern, and this one, it wasn't really hard to find. I'm going to move it into place here. And if you actually want to know more about the Dick Hardened Huntsman knife, a guy actually made a really cool video on it, and I will link it down in the description below. And I'm designating this area kind of what I call the dick area of the case hardened pattern. Now I want to line up Oni Pixels AK-47 Blue Gem that has some beautiful Catavises on it. And I have great news if you're watching, Oni. The tip of your AK falls in the dick hardened area of the design, thus making your AK technically a dick hardened AK-47 Blue Gem, which by my calculations makes it worth about 400% overpay. And only if you end up selling this and you want to toss some of that my way for uncovering this, I humbly accept. I actually set this video to premiere and decided to keep working on it a little bit, and someone actually left a comment. Mystic here said that for the Overgrowth there is a certain pattern where you get a heart shape on the tip of the suppressor, and I thought that was really cool. And you know, obviously I was looking a lot into patterns for this video, and you see a lot of the same skins, and I had never heard anything about this. And he actually gave me a pattern ID to look up, and sure enough, there definitely is a little bitty heart on that suppressor. And I pulled up the pattern in the files, and sure enough, it's right here. And again, big thanks to Mystic for bringing this to my attention. I love when I find out something like this I didn't know about a skin that's been in the game for so long. It's very cool. Another one I want to talk about is the MAC-10 Last Dive, and I'm gonna get some flack for this, but I think we're sleeping on this skin. I think this skin most of the time doesn't look great, but I think if you get a good pattern for it, it actually looks really nice. I actually, during this video, purchased one off the Steam Marketplace, and I'm really happy with how it looks. I've opened one of these in the past, and you know, it was just mostly orange, and there was like nothing on it, and I was like, okay, what is this? And as you can see here with the one I purchased, it really can have some cool patterns on it. And if we pull up its pattern sheet here, and I adjusted the color best I could, but I couldn't get some of those grays to be orange like they are in the actual design. But it is some really beautiful artwork, and I think there is potential to be other rare patterns in it, like one where the seahorse covers the whole thing and so on. Next up, I want to show the Minotaur's Labyrinth, and I know that if you've seen any videos about rare skins, you've seen this one. It's talked about a lot. Obviously, people want the skin where you can see the Minotaur on it. And like I said, I know a lot of you have seen this one, but maybe you haven't seen its texture file, and I just thought it was super impressive how elaborate the pattern was. Now I want to get into what inspired this whole video, and that's the 5.7 Kami. And now, while some people may say it's a pretty unremarkable skin when you look at it, it's produced some very interesting patterns on the butt of the gun. So you've got this one that kind of looks like a cowboy. You've got this one where it's like, you know, some eyes kind of looking up at you. It's pretty cool. You've got this one even that looks like a spider. That's pretty neat. And then we get to this one. 5'7" Kami pussy pattern. And I get the name. I obviously don't know what a pussy looks like, but this is, everybody says this is it, so I'll take their word for it. And it's the whole reason I set out on this journey, is I wanted to find where in the Kami pattern this was. And I'm happy to say, I think I have found where it is. So if we pull up the Kami pattern, and we look here, I think this has to be it. And after dragging it into Photoshop and doing a little bit of warping to match the gun and really tightening up our crop, I think it is pretty clear we found the spot. Little nervous, never been to a restaurant that looked this much like a living room. Hey, here, let me help you. It's nice to finally meet you in person. Yeah, no, they should bring you like your own bowl of bread here in a little bit. I think, well, he put this one like more toward my side, so. Having just discovered that I can access these texture files, my mind's kind of going a million miles an hour thinking of like the various video ideas and stuff I can do with this. But just as an example, I've already made the Bubba Noir op skin that you'll see in a coming case, hopefully. And we can even look at some stickers in like really good quality on here, which I think is really cool. And I was looking at one of my favorite Katowice stickers, but knowing Oni's watching, I would be absolutely remiss if I didn't pull up one of his favorites.
Next video, we have a spooktacular surprise.
So I wanted to pose a proposal to Oni. He's been watching my videos and I had an idea. I currently have in the works a video based around community-made workshop skins having to do with Halloween horror kind of vibes, and I was going to post it around Halloween, but now I was thinking, since the last video you watched, you said you were really interested in kind of the workshop, seeing skins you've never seen before. What if I presented them to you and you gave me your thoughts on them? I've got it laid out like a case too. I've got my coverts, I've got my mil specs, all that. We show them to you one by one, and I kind of just get your reaction. Do you agree? Do you like this one? Do you think it should not be mil spec? Whatever. This is just kind of idea that popped into my head yesterday when you were reacting.
Let me call Slum again to tell him in a few minutes we can start. Chat, this will be a lot of fun. A lot of fun.